哦，这哥们儿是不是之前监狱里外打过的？他现在都已经出来成这样了。外吗？他怎么？肉盾哥看上了。哇，外完全黑化呀！哇，好帅哦！都开始赌是外赢了，这打黑拳了。哦，好吧。肉盾哥一直陪他喝酒。哦，哇，这嘶吼！他的爱人、他的妹妹都离开他了。哦
Looking good, sis.
啊！
I don't want to hear another word out of your mouth. It's Vander. I'm not falling for another one of your tricks. He's alive. We both know that's bullshit. He needs our help. I can prove it.
现在的外已经破碎不堪了呢。和好吧，姐妹们。姐妹真的好心疼外啊，就是她真的就自甘堕落了吧？本人她还是一头亮丽的粉色，现在也完全是那种被黑暗笼罩的感觉。警卫队里离开的那个肉盾哥还本身想帮助他吧，他也是把他推开了。Jinx 来找外的时候也是没有带任何武器的感觉，完全没有要还手的这种心，让外也心软了。现在 Jinx 她的眼泪都是微光的颜色了，感觉这个影响真是越来越大了。这是狼的那个上一集爪子吗？这让我想到上一季的时候，他追查 Jinx 也是脑内都能浮现当时的场景。
Months of peacekeeping occupation.
preparations. Oceans of sweat and tears. I'd begun to think we might finally see an end to Zorn's perverse abominations.
他就等着呢。
How foolish was I? The beast came for you. It was summoned by you.
Kaylin 还是那么
In my
聪明。
experience, only guilty men answer accusations with silence.
In my experience, no one in power is innocent.
There are cells buried deep within this prison so devoid of light and fresh air and all basic human considerations that up till now I have
Ambessa 看中了。
If you do not want to waste away the remainder of your days in one of these, you have one recourse.
Ambessa 需要这个科学家。那应该是他女儿吗？
Tell us everything we need to know to hunt down this beast.
Your youth betrays you. Patience is a product of age, both of which I possess in abundance.
This is your final chance. Tell me what you were planning. How was Jinx involved? You will rot in here.
但是 Ambessa 看到了他的软肋，他的家人。 Oh no! Whoa. 他应该活不了了。
Hope you find these quarters to your liking. They still haven't replied to my request for a transfer.
Who's there?
Not sure I know anymore. Our hosts have a way of scrambling your omelet.
巫术、幻术
I killed my friend. Alora was there. And then
这些守卫像 OP 里面一样。
The stewards of the old world are always keen to give you a glimpse of their might.
what is this place?
Near as I can tell, an oculorum. According to legend, the ancients built specialized chambers to seal away false prophets. But if you ask me, they're just the fancy pits peacock princes like to toss their friends into.
Peacock princes?
Sorry, just an old family joke. You know, the kind of rulers with an artistic flair.
Step into the light. Kino.
哦，是他哥哥吗？所以他没死。
It's me, brother. Mel.
哦，这衣服也是诺克萨斯的感觉。
You've grown up. I'd hoped they'd never come for you.
天呐，那 Ambessa 真的得赶紧找他们麻烦了。哦，壁画也很美呢。好玩呢。还有像是和平的鸽子。
This is where I lost him. Cool, huh? Not even toxic. Well, pretty sure.
Why the hell would Vander be all the way down here?
Beats me. Ask him yourself.
When are you gonna admit that this is just another one of your fantasies? Or do you not want the kid to know how delusional you are?
She wasn't always like this. She actually used to
可
be
是他那
pretty
些 fantasy 也很
cool
折
before I
磨他
kicked
的
her。butt.
See what I mean? Delusional.
Wish I was just seeing things when you decided to throw in with the Pilty goons who murdered Mom and Dad.
Well, at least they never had to see the psycho their daughter turned into.
Which one?
哦，
Wake up, sis. I'm a hero. I busted half of Zahn out of Stillwater while you were passed out in the bottom of a mug. Now can it and keep walking before I kick your ass again.
You wouldn't last 1 second without all your ugly gadgets and chicken shit tricks.
哦，
Ha! What about those over-designed bitch mittens you didn't even build yourself?
You think I need these to...
There. 1 second.
哦，
Last chance to surrender!
Go right ahead, fat hands.
哦，
Hey, kid. Still got all your insides?
跟 Jinx 一模一样。
But don't ditch us.
Why do you come get me? You don't actually need my help. You haven't for a long time.
Last time Vander needed us, we tried it alone, and nothing was ever the same. So, maybe this is like a do-over. Besides, he's your father too.
I've been expecting you.
Confident, aren't you? But I
但是他女儿不是死了吗？ 但是他可以把 Vander 给复活，他也可以复活他女儿。
For Caitlin's dungeons. You already know what I want.
He isn't a monster. He was once a man. Well respected at that. victim of great tragedy. He had a ferocious will to live, an incredible tolerance for pain.
哦
With him, I was able to make strides.
哦，就是想复活他女儿。
But the mind I could not recover. The man forever lost in the bowels of the beast,
以前的
compelled
Silco.
only by the scent of blood. So I thought. It now seems I had yet to uncover the right catalyst.
Blisters and
Silco，刚刚那个是他老婆吗？这都是一些脉络。
I don't know. I just felt. It's like some sort of puzzle. Kino, what happened to you? How did you...
That child inherited is of terrible interest to our captors.
而且他们家不是还偷了一样什么东西吗？
Many of the city's mysteries.
Commander.
General. One such mystery caught my attention. The curious dismissal of a revered Academy alchemist. Unparalleled, by all accounts. And no mention of his crime.
他研究的东西太出格了。
This led to one other missing puzzle piece whose absence has always gnawed at my mind. Who invented Shimmer? We have our answer now, don't we? Dr. Revik. You're a monster. Why? Why do all this?
Why does anyone commit acts others deem unspeakable?
哦，就是家人。
For love.
.旁边还有八音盒，感觉。好漂亮啊！它保存的这么好。
Perhaps, in another life, you would have been friends.
啊，
Everything I've done is to cure her. I believe the beast may hold the final key.
Precisely what are you trying to cure?
That affliction we all suffer. Death. Imagine a world that no longer need fear it.
Mel?
I'm getting us out of here.
他太聪明了。会不会跟他身上的这个金色铠甲有关呢？所以他好像有些相通的地方。
Say this is some sort of sordid labyrinth. Usually there are consequences for someone who fails these tests. Deadly consequences.
I deserve to know the truth.
Of course. Makes you wonder why she kept this from you, doesn't it? For all these years.
I'm missing something.
healthy sense of self-preservation, I'd say.
You aren't my brother.
这是不是也是幻觉呀？这就是他们巫术的力量。
Who are you? What have you done with Gino?
哇！
We had such high hopes for him.
At first, it seemed plausible that he could have been the child. But then your mother led us to you, sister.
所以他才带着出生就带着这个铠甲，可能跟他父亲有关。哇，相克的。Y 的那个手印嘛。
What is it?
A message from Vander to Silco.
曾经他们待过的地方。
Silco.
I've looked everywhere, but it's clear you don't want to be found. God, I'm shit at this. I'm sorry. When she died, I lost my head. I told myself what I did to you was for the greater good, that you deserved it. But the dirt was on both our hands. Anyway, you know where to find me. Blisters and Bedrock. V.
那个衣服也是 Vander 和 Silco 的。
Everything might have been different.
"所以他才会来到这里。感觉要相认了呀。他循着 Y 的血迹。啊！好别炸了！ 边啊！血液在刺激他。
God, it's him. You have to believe me.
What's the occasion?
Can't a lady just be in the mood for a familiar song?
Not this lady, and not this song.
哦，两个小女孩，这应该是 Jinx 他母亲。哦。
Tonight, a harebrained scheme these two bozos cooked up to turn a dank crack in the earth into a thriving, healthy community became a reality.
Tonight, eh? You hear that, Bozo 2? We made it. We're done.
Oh, you're sadly mistaken. I'm Bozo 1.
能看到他们太好了。
I'm knocked up. A girl.
How do you know?
Wasn't really part of my plan, but I guess that's everything when you're living week to week.
What did Connell say?
I haven't told him. Working up the nerve.
哦，所以 Vi 和 Jinx 他们发色不一样。
I don't know anything about kids. I get sweaty being alone with one.
Hey, you're gonna be a great mother.
Shut up. I'm not ready for that. I started trying to come up with a name, and it hits me that this one word is a decision she's gonna live with her whole life. I can't protect her from all the shit down here and work out how to be a parent at the same time. Then I realized I don't have to.
What was that?
Because the second I told you, I put you on the hook. You two are gonna figure this Zahn thing out. I don't care if you have to carve it out of the bedrock or cover it in blisters. You're not allowed to fail anymore. For her. For me.
What's the point if we can't raise an ankle biter or two?
他们确实养好了呢。
Blisters and bedrock.
Blisters and bedrock. I've always liked the name Violet. As you wake up in the cold sweat,
哦，是抱在一起了吗？哦。哦，一起。哦。 这就是完美的。Solo， 他已经他把 Jace 带回来了。天呐，他老了这么多，是因为他已经去过未来了吗？是骚，他已经被 Victor 给净化了。
Jace, one could ask the same question. How are you walking? Who do you think could mend such a broken creature?
他还不知道
Would you
Victor
want to speak with him?
的。
Jace, I'd feared I wouldn't have the chance to speak with you again.
Victor，
Victor,
I would prefer to converse in person. But there's so much work to be done.
how are you doing this?
I suppose this is somewhat beyond where we left off.
Is Sallow still in there? Where else would I be? You have my solemn vow that anything you discuss will be kept in the strictest confidence. I owe Victor everything.
Victor 已经有这种能力了都。
I have so many.
Victor 对于这个就是可控的。
You've given Hextech to the people?
As we always promised we would.
Victor has truly worked wonders.
用科技带来进步。
Hextech isn't a miracle. It's a curse. We have to end it, Victor. We have to.
You seem different.
他看到了什么 ？Jace， 未来。
I'm sorry too.
Jace 他真的完全变了。最后这一段真的还挺震撼的。Jace 他应该已经通过这个 Hextech， 他已经接触到未来了。包括即使他现在回到这个空间，他也还是身体有受到那种时间的波动的影响，在闪回。而且我觉得他在接触到这个 Solo， 就是 Victor 他的意念在 Solo 身体里的时候，他已经就是做好了要杀 Victor 的准备了吧？也跟他看到的未来有关。可能未来真的因为这个 Hex Core， 然后呢，已经发生了更多有诅咒性的事情，就像黑莫丁格一直以来都就是惧怕的那样。所以现在已经看到未来的他，就是完全跟曾经他跟 Victor 共同的美好的祈愿已经是完全截然相反了。现在他已经非常急于去摧毁 Hextech 和 Victor， 因为这个 core 它的根源还是因为 Victor 的当时跟他的有所共鸣，所以可能才酿造了现在的这样一个怪物一样的东西。Victor 他确实也好久没出现了，他应该一直以来在底下都在做着这种净化那些贫民窟的人，包括像 Solo 应该也集结了很多的力量吧，感觉都在为 Victor 而行事。是 Jace 他在看到 Solo， 他其中有一幕好像已经变成了另外一种形态，真的像一个魔鬼一般。所有这一切在未来的 Jace 眼里都已经见怪不怪似的，所以这次回到这个过去，他根本没有丝毫的心软了。而且如果 Victor 能就是在所有他净化过的这些底层人意识能随意这样子的穿梭的话，那这些人其实 完全就只是个载体，像个空壳一样，只是机械组成的空壳。如果是这样子的意义下， Victor 真的算是救了他们吗？还是说他们其实已经都死了，就是可能只是在靠着 Victor 的力量在让他们能够继续像人一样行走做事，但其实他们已经不存在了。一方面我真的又很心痛他们兄弟俩这样反目成仇吧，因为就是最开始他们互相扶持彼此这么多次，虽然也有一些分歧，但是其实还是在一步步朝着他们共同的梦想在前进吧。但是现在他们还是离不开要剑指彼此了，我觉得还是挺痛心的。而另一方面呢，我又很期待这一条就是跟时间相关的这个叙事线，而且这也是一步步的再回到就是 Arcane 这个主题上，就是到底这个曾经救过 Jace 的魔法师还有他们那样的世界和这些符文到底是怎样，又离这些真相更加近了一步吧。这也是越来越接近或者说是印证了 Heimerdinger 他从上一季最开始就是给这些年轻人的警告警醒，非常有可能在不久的将来，这个 Hextech 或者说这个 Hex Core 就会带来毁灭性的影响吧。最开始这个炼金科学家和 Ambessa 的这段戏还是很有意思，上一集就能看出来这个炼金他是自己自投罗网来到这个监狱的，他就是要把狼人引到这里，也是让 Ambessa 亲眼目睹了这个狼人可怕的实力。就如 Ambessa 说的，他征战过这么多战场，从来没有见过如此凶猛的野兽。不得不说姜还是老的辣吧，就是炼金科学家他明显就是完全底气很足，他知道 Ambessa 需要什么， Ambessa 看到他身上的可能性的同时，也让他看到了自己就是软肋，也就是他的那个女儿的照片。 Ambessa 在看到他有软肋的这一瞬间，其实他们的这个合作已经促成了吧，算其实就是各取所需嘛。而在这个时候 Caitlin 看着真的是非常稚嫩，Caitlin 她显然跟 Ambessa 看到的这个点也不一样，她更想知道这种危险的东西怎么来的， Jinx 做了什么，然后她还想去除掉，直接枪击掉这个炼金科学家。而 Ambessa 可从来没有想让炼金科学家死，她是需要她的这个力量的，尤其在于现在根本没有其他优秀的科学家，加上 Mel 已经就是离开这么久了，她真的是没有别的招了吧。她这人把她女儿房间也布置得非常的精致，真的像小公主一般的。她应该最开始研究不管是 Shimmer 还是后面研究这种复活的方式，一直都是想去续他女儿的命吧。虽然 Vander 的这个兽人不算是完全的这个符合他预期的，因为完全还是充满兽性的，但是现在他也多少了解到了就是这种催化剂，也就是这种亲情这种爱可以作为兽性能够褪去恢复一些人性的这个方法。 Caitlin 看到他女儿的这个房间也多少缓和了一些他的这个杀气吧，就所有在场的大家都有这个家人作为软肋的，大家彼此都懂嘛。这集的 Mel 也真的是非常惊艳吧，他在如此窘迫的这个境地还是那样的聪慧敏锐，他应该在这种巫术发动之前应该多少感觉到了就这是一个虚幻的地方。看来的话之前黑玫瑰所提到的就是 Ambessa 他们偷走了一件重要的东西，应该就和 Mel 他在就是娘胎里的时候就携带的这种金色的防御机制有关吧。而且 Mel 他能感受到这个就是墙壁上的这种谜题和他下意识会画这种符文，不知道是不是也跟他的这个金色防御体就是有相通的地方，感觉多少也在指向他跟黑玫瑰家族的这种联系吧。那个他的假哥哥最后不断的变换他的形态，感觉也都是变换像 Jace 或者说其他他在乎的那些人，可能也是想去威胁他，看他敢不敢就是对自己下狠手吧。不得不说黑玫瑰家族他们的这种能力真的太逆天了，不仅能完全伪装成另外一个人吧，甚至也能像上一集就是类似于依附在 Mel 他的那个朋友身上一般，感觉更像一种精神控制或者说是一种操控力吧。这一集看到 Silco 然后 Jinx 和 Y 的母亲和 Vander 这一段往事真的是太触动我了。不得不说 Silco 以前真的很帅啊，那个时候他们也是充满的这种斗志，也是说着为着底层，为了河床与水泡，当时他们怎么也不会想到会酿造那么悲惨的这样结局吧。 Jinx 和 Y 的母亲最后也是死在了他们当时那一场反抗之下吧。那个时候应该也是 Vander 和 Silco 他们两个人开始分歧并决裂的时刻。 Vander 应该也是看到了如此悲惨的结果，这样子他们的报复会带来多大的牺牲，但是就像 Silco 他说的这句为了底层，当时他还是要想继续前进，为了他们的梦想，想要继续去挑战上层，去独立底层。 真的3个人又是朋友又是战友般的关系，这样子的羁绊吗？但是 Silco 和 Vander 最后也真的是永远的坚守了他们当时和 Y 他们母亲的这个约定，有去好好的照顾好两姐妹呢。Silco 他确实是实打实的在为底层出力，也想真正的改变这样的现状。但是 Vander 呢，他看到了需要守护的东西事物。虽然就是 Vander 给 Silco 有写了那样的一个纸条，但是他们两个根本上的理念已经发生了完全的分歧了，就是真的是分道扬镳了。不得不说 Silco 和 Vander 他俩的这一段关系和他们的分道扬镳又怎么不算是又对应了 Y 和 Jinx， 同时其实也多少对应了像 Jace 和 Victor 呢。Jinx 他也是现在实打实的为底层出力吧，但 Y 他身上背负了更多的正义，有一种造化弄人的即视感。我真的不希望他们会重走之前的老路。当然这一集的最后真的就是完美的一个，就像已经像是结局了吧，真的是等姐妹俩和好等了太久了，终于有了突破性的进展。两个人明明还是那么样在乎彼此，爱着彼此吧。像 Jinx 他应该也没少去 Y 最开始打黑拳的那个地方，一路上两个人也是一路互呛吧。但是就是 Y 他看到了 Jinx 他现在也是一位姐姐了，有了这样一个可爱的小妹妹，尤其是看到伊莎这样子扑上来为了保护 Jinx 这样对他也大打出手的样子，这个时候他也说到说你已经不需要我了呢。但是不要这样说呀，明明两个人都很需要彼此的，就算能够和好吧，这之间的这一些裂痕的还是太多了。Y 可能一方面也觉得 Jinx 他现在已经有了自己的力量，甚至也可以去保护他人，守护他想保护的家人了，想要去安慰 Jinx 的这个手也这样子拿起又放下，但 Jinx 也是一样放不下 Y 的。在狼人这样扑向他们的时候，应该最开始 Vander 也没有认出来 Y 他换了个头型，而且本身他们也长太大了嘛。这个时候 Jinx 拿出他的这个枪，真的感觉都不知道要瞄准谁，我觉得他甚至可能会为了 Y 这样子打向 Vander 了。我真的太喜欢最后的这段配乐了，再加上本身是充满着漆黑的未知的，但是本身 Jinx 他打开的这个火机是就是这一段黑暗中唯一的一点光亮，但是最后他们拥抱到一起的时候，只有 Vander 他身上的这一顶绿光是这个时候唯一的这种光亮，这样子的拥抱简直就是完美的。即使两姐妹都还没和好呢，但是这时的 Y 已经愿意就是放下拳头，相信 Jinx， 这个时候真的是以命相信了。最后对 Jinx 也是说了一样的话呢，他是我们的爸爸。我就想知道这么其乐融融的一幕能够维持多久吧，如果结局就是这样的话，我也是心满意足的。这期视频上结束了，我们下期再见了，拜拜。